Hello, this is Robin Thomas with Living Well Connections. And I know it's been a while since I've made a video or actually even posted much on social media at all. For the past year, I've been taking a lot of care for my mom and some other private things that are coming up in our lives. But now I'm excited to be back. And I wanted to let you know, if you know me now, or if you don't know me yet, a little bit about my journey to health and wellness. I've been interested in healthy living probably most of my life. It started off as a kid. We spent summers camping at a lake in northern Georgia, and I just had the freedom to explore, look at nature, walk along the shoreline, and swim and sail and water ski and stay very active all summer long. We ate believe it or not, my mother cooked every dinner over an open fire or a camp stove. And we still had a lot of wonderful fresh food to sustain us and to give us lots of energy. So I love nature so much that when I went off to college, I wanted to be a biologist. And I studied environmental biology and ecology, really learning about the natural world around us. But when I graduated, I realized that the true potential for myself and for those around me, the people around me, was taking care of their health needs and looking for ways to help keep those of us around me healthier. Now, when doing research, we're looking at basic ideas that then lead to great inventions and occasions. One of the things that a laboratory I was in was really looking at was inflammation. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm very interested in looking at inflammation and chronic inflammation and how that affects us. Because I saw in this study, I saw the people greatly affected by chronic inflammation. They were those that either had developed an autoimmune disorder that caused them to have flares, very painful and debilitating flares of inflammation. I worked with people who had been on dialysis for a while, and that increases inflammation and causes lots of problems, so many different side effects from chronic inflammation. So at the same time, while I was working through the lab, of course, I got married, and my husband, who was also a scientist, he's a chemist, he and I have two cutest little boys, and I loved that. I loved taking care of those little boys. My second son, though, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at a very early age. So while I was studying inflammation, my son was experiencing it. He was so young when he was diagnosed with diabetes that even my colleagues, the physicians around me, did not know how to treat him. So they treated him like a little adult. Eventually, we ended up looking at a more holistic approach to how to help my son. I started asking around because I knew my son had gut issues too. I know that he was having problems with his digestion. And I didn't really get an answer that worked. Nothing seemed to work for years, and he became very, very ill. I was frustrated, and I was honestly knew in my heart that there were things out there that could help my son. So I was introduced to USANA Health Sciences, and I researched this very carefully. And in USANA, I researched the founder because I feel like that's so very important to take a look at who is the founder and at the time the CEO of the company. It was Dr. Myron Wentz. And what I liked about what I saw was, first of all, he was a scientist, and he was a scientist I knew, because I had done work with human cell lines, and he invented nutrition. He invented a technology in nutrition that allowed these cell lines to function very, very well, to stay very healthy for a long period of time. And that was something very difficult to do in the lab. Dr. Wentz also was very interested, besides nutrition, he was very interested in more holistic practices for wellness. And he was interested in environmental health. And he was interested in health, energy work. And he was interested in all different kinds of things. So he opened a medical institute called USANA, where it's a working hospital. It's also a research hospital, and it is where anyone can go and really get a unique experience looking for the root cause. And by supporting the root cause, whether it be nutritionally or digestion help or energy work, whatever root cause it was, that supports the whole body. So USANA really helped me translate the scientific knowledge into practical and real-world solutions. Once I found that out, and that there was hope, there was this glimmer of hope for my son. So what did I do after I started learning all these different practices? I wanted to come home to Chapel Hill, and I wanted to find people who were doing these practices here. So I reached out first online. This is a long time ago. Not many people were online then. So I had to go by word of mouth, and I started to find practitioners. And I had this great idea that people don't know what's available. So I love supporting practitioners and getting the word out on what they're doing. That's when I formed Living Well Connections, bringing people together who all had different expertise and help us all work together and support each other with knowledge, with kindness, with understanding. My current mission is actually to get this word out even more to a greater audience. So I started a podcast called Over 40 and Fabulous. It's really meant for people who are in transition in some way, for people who, they might have a chronic degenerative disease, they may have an autoimmune disease, but they might not. They may just not be feeling quite their best, or they may be just curious about what's out there. So now I'm actually recording podcasts, and I have them all on YouTube at youtube.com/Robin Thomas. Easy to find. And I just think that I would love for you to take a look at the podcast, find something that resonates with you, and let me know. If you want to chat, I'm always happy to chat. I'm always happy to, have a short conversation, just so we can find out more about each other. And so I can help you, if you're a practitioner, get the word out of what you're doing. If you're someone who is searching for something that can help you, I have this community to reach out to and find out if any one of them can help you. It's just been such a wonderful journey, and I'm so happy to be here back on this journey once again. So please follow my YouTube channel and engage with my content. Let me know what works and what doesn't work. I don't mind if you go like, well, I tried that and it's not for me. Everybody is unique. So I'm not saying that everybody should do everything that I introduce, but find what resonates with you and then reach out to me, and let's see if we can get some help for you.